Rebekah Weber with the Lake Champlain Lakekeeper program with Conservation Law Foundation, and we're in charge of the compliance team / the policy team. So we started off as compliance, really wanting to dig into what the baseline information is around compliance. So one of the first actions that we did as a team was to meet with the Agency of Natural Resources and the Agency of Agriculture to get an understanding of what their process is and what their baseline data is, and to really understand for ourselves where we're at within this greater question of how is Vermont doing in terms of compliance and meeting our laws. So another action that took place was during the legislative session. We decided, because many of the members on my team are at the State House on a regular basis, we wanted to use that momentum and talk about clean water funding. And of course, funding has a lot to do with compliance, because part of that is public assistance and making sure that we're giving the regulated community the tools in the toolbox that they need in order to comply with our laws. And as a result of these sort of State House lobbyist sessions, we were able to form a coalition of business leaders, agricultural communities, nonprofit sector, as well as municipal representatives to sign on to a letter that asked the General Assembly to provide the necessary funds for clean water this session. So that's sort of a snapshot of the actions that our team has taken so far. Moving into the future, we want to narrow in our focus and talk about not just compliance as a whole, but specifically what sectors need to work more on compliance. Are we talking about wetlands regulations? Are we talking about stormwater, wastewater, agriculture? So in the next 90 days, that's one of the focuses of our group. In terms of connectivity, we have had participation so far from Conservation Law Foundation, Vermont Natural Resources Council, the Lewis Creek Association, as well as municipal groups such as the League of Cities and Towns, agricultural group, the Champlain Valley Farmers Coalition, the Farm Bureau. But we recognize that not everyone is at the table, and so we're still trying to reach out, and some of those that were at the table have retired since, so we need to repopulate our group with a stronger ag presence, wastewater representation, and perhaps someone who's working on erosion around roads, since that's an issue, new permits that are coming out. In terms of alignment, we think that as we're able to narrow the focus of our group, we'll be in greater alignment with everyone at the table, all of the members of our organization. We're also hoping that we will be in greater alignment with other teams within the network, particularly the public awareness team. As we're fighting for clean water funding at the State House, it's going to be important to spread the word and get public support and involvement in that process. And from support from a backbone organization, we're right now in the process of compiling data since 1995, enforcement data that comes out of the Agency of Natural Resources. And so we're using that data as our baseline for how we're going to narrow in our focus. And we recognize that we're at the point where we're able to sort of input that data and take an initial look. But moving forward, we're probably going to need broader support and more professional support in terms of interpreting that data and knowing where to go next from here on out. So we are doing these actions right now, but we'll probably be having specific asks of the backbone organization in the near future.